Once there was this kid in my middle school, and he was your stereotypical rich, annoying kid. He thought he owned everything and stuff like that, called other kids in their families poor, and said he would buy their parents' company and fire them. One day, a kid who happened to be black made him angry. Pretty sure it was just because he bumped into him. But the rich kid said, "Shut the hell up. I could buy your whole family of hard R's."
You need to leave.
Don't know what he's been doing recently. I hope he's not doing good. Yeah, me neither. What the hell? You know what sucks though, man, is he probably is doing good. He's probably doing great right now. He's rich. His family is rich. He didn't have to do anything for his money. I mean, he's probably having the time of his life. As much as it pains me to say it, he's probably living it up. What's up, boys? Guys, we all know, okay, Amelia is about as bad as it gets when it comes to spoiled children on the internet. I mean, all you gotta do is watch one of my countless videos on her to see how truly evil she could be. But would you guys believe me if I told you there is worse out there? It's just not being publicly documented. So I went on my community tab and I asked you guys to send me your worst spoiled brat encounters and stories. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of these got Amelia beat, so stay tuned. Let me know your own spoiled brat encounters in the comments section, and also solve this math problem, and the first person to solve it will get $8 million in real life by me. Anyway, without further ado, enjoy the rest of the video, boys. When I was 7, 8, I was on a flight back from the Bahamas with my family. I had a huge meltdown because my mom wouldn't let me eat a pretzel I dropped off the filthy airplane floor. As the story goes, I screamed and wailed like that for over an hour. Fast forward a couple years, we go to the doc and I learn I am mentally Alright, well, nice, man. You know, I'm pretty sure they don't use that terminology anymore in the doctor, but I don't, maybe that's what he told you, I don't know. The doctor probably asked your mom, like, you know, were there any signs? What pointed you to come into my office today? And she was like, yeah, he just ate a pretzel off the floor. It was nasty. I thought something had to be up with him, you know? There's an annoying kid at my high school that I have just reported for being an asshole for years. I hear rumors that someone else also filed a report against him, but it seems like his mom is yelling at the school for him. Like 17 to 18, by the way, has a driver's license and a car. He seems like a spoiled rich kid. Interestingly, he's part of the popular crowd, but the only huge difference between him and another kid no one likes is that he has money and does sports. He has thrown a lot of little temper tantrums in class because people aren't taking his side when he talks about how much he respects Diddy and Andrew Tate, or when he lies/exaggerates about what other people said to be funny. He also keeps threatening to come to my house, so yeah, maybe he just wants to hang out, dude. Maybe he's threatening to come to your house like, hey buddy, if you're not careful, I'm gonna come to your house and we're gonna have the best time ever. We're gonna play video games, we're gonna have a sleepover, we're gonna have snacks, we're gonna have good food, we're gonna talk about girls. Yeah, buddy, watch out. When I was in 6th grade, I had a friend who was really fat. Okay. Damn. One day I was at her house and her mom brought us to Burger King. Me and my friend's sister were both happy to go there, but my fat friend cried until her mom brought her to McDonald's, and she was 12 years old. She ended up being a really bad person, so don't feel bad that I called her fat. Oh, okay. All right. Well, then, yeah, that's fine. I mean, let's be honest though. Because she was fat, she probably did have the best taste in fast food out of all of you guys. I mean, Burger King, really, you guys were really happy to go to Burger King? I mean, I'm with her, honestly, on this one. I know she's a terrible person now, but that's not good. So, I used to be a figure skater, which of course came with the kind of drama that you would expect. Usually the stories I go for with this are my sister pulled the fire alarm because I landed my first jump and she wanted attention too. Or I had a meltdown at a competition because I was being given a pink first place trophy. Let's be real though, the last one was gender issues. Anyway, this one time this kid got mad I was putting my skates into my bag, demanded I give them to him because he was insisting they were rentals. I know almost nobody will know what I'm talking about here, but custom Rydell Bronze Star 435s for the boot, which is now $735 for the base, with the Matrix Legacy blades, which are 480th, aka not rentals. That's over $1,000 base model include. That's over $1,000 base model everything, ignoring the glitter, custom ankle sizing, and the years of sweat soaked into the insides. Kid goes over to the rental counter and complains. Rink staff basically tells him that those are my own personal use skates. He goes and complains to his parent and comes back with an offer. $50. Much to nobody's surprise, I said no, and he starts screaming. and I thankfully finished putting everything away, so I just left. I still don't think that kid realizes the ankle injuries I just saved his ass from. Damn, so you really just flexed on his ass. You're like, kid, you do realize that these are Rydell Bronze Star 435s with Matrix Legacy blades, okay? I don't know why you're offering me $50, but that is an insult. An insult. That does sound pretty sweet though. I mean, not gonna lie, if I had something like that, I probably wouldn't have busted my lip completely when I was a child skating around. Well, actually some fat kid ran into me. But when I was like 6, my parents would let me have 30 minutes on Roblox, but one time I misbehaved and she took it away, so I shat on the carpet in her room. Okay, thanks for sharing, man. Thanks for sharing that story with us. There's this kid who went to my summer camp who wouldn't do any work no matter how many times he was asked to help. We had a scoutmaster who was a bit of a bigger guy. Actually, you could like hear him breathing and wheezing, he was so big. You were like trying to be, hold up. You were like trying to be nice at first and then you just gave up. You're like, he was a bit of a bigger, nah, that dude was fat as hell. He was huge. He was breathing and wheezing like, oh my God. Okay, anyway, he started yelling at this kid after he had not been helping for the whole week at summer camp. He eventually goes, a scout is supposed to be obedient. Almost his yelling causing this kid to respond back. I'm not obedient, but at least I'm not obese. And yeah, that kid got sent home that night and kicked out of our scout troop. Hated that kid, but that was kind of a good one. Not gonna lie. Dude, that actually reminds me of a similar story I had. I also went to summer camp one year, and I also had a scout leader that was a large guy. I'll say that. We were all gathered around some fire or something, you know, sitting on some wooden benches, and he like stood on one of them to try and talk to everybody, and it snapped and broke. He fell on his ass, and I'm not even kidding, like every kid was laughing. I kind of feel bad about it now thinking about it, because that dude was definitely extremely embarrassed, but at the time, it was really funny. Well, this isn't exactly a story I myself have experienced, but one time on the bus, I saw a girl that looked about 7 and 9 throw an iPhone on the street. I think you might have just spotted Amelia in the wild. Did you see a woman who looks like she could perhaps beat up a child standing with her, recording her and screaming her head off or something like that? Because if so, I think you spotted them. I think you saw them in the wild. There was a kid in our class back in 3rd grade who would brag about her father's earnings and how he would always get her expensive gifts whenever he'd come back from abroad. She used to say that allegedly she owned a magical watch worth $100,000 and that she would get her friends those watches if they would do certain tasks for her, like cleaning her table, giving her their lunch, filling up her water bottle, etc. All the children did all those tasks till they eventually forgot about the watches and did her work like some kind of innate instinct. That girl was me. I just didn't get spanked enough as a kid and was already a professional liar by 1st grade. And no, my dad hasn't even stepped a foot abroad. I was just asking for attention and it worked. No way I had slaves as a kid. This is wild. I mean, some of these things like, you know, cleaning the table, filling a water bottle up, whatever, that's okay, I guess. But giving you their lunch, like, you're just starving these kids. You're just taking away their food. And not one time did any of these kids ask to see this watch that you're talking about. You don't even have it yourself. You're like, trust me, it exists. It's super magical. And you can have it if you do 10 push-ups right now. If you were doing all this in 1st grade, I am terrified to think about what you could do as an adult. Like, that is just, you need to be locked up before anything happens. Okay, so I'm with my sister. Now, let me tell you, when I say she is the definition of princess treatment, one time, my sister wanted water, and instead of getting it herself, she waited until I stood up from my seat and proceeded to ask me, can you give me water? So I grabbed the bottle of water, and I full force threw it at her, and she still has a bruise from it to this day. It's been a year and she hasn't done anything like this since. She still has a bruise to this day? You just left a crater in her head. Holy shit. That water bottle had to have been made of like titanium or something like that. I don't know. Vibranium, probably. Bro, my kid was begging for water despite me already giving them their drop for the day. He must think I'd allow such freeloading in my house. Ugh. Spoiled kids, am I right, man? Oh my God. I mean, can they just be grateful for what you give them? Like, seriously, what is the deal with these kids nowadays? One time when I was 15, my mom took me to McDonald's to celebrate an art contest I won. When we got there was a kid throwing a complete tantrum at the cashier because he was, and I quote, fat because of them. This went on for the entire time we were there. I can still remember how loudly he screamed to this day. F you, Ronald McDonald. F you, I'm fat because of you, you piece of shit. And don't think I forgot about you, Grimace, you purple b****. I was at Chick-fil-A and a full-grown geezer was throwing a tantrum asking for the manager to give him a new bag of food or something. Once the manager came and explained that she could give money back but not food, he threw his bag on the floor and stormed out. He was probably 50 plus years old. I mean, I know this is a video about spoiled kid stories, but I feel like this fits because, I mean, he's acting like a child, you know? So I feel like I could put it in here. Why do so many of these occur at fast food restaurants? Like, why is McDonald's and Chick-fil-A, those types of places, like the spot for spoiled kid tantrums? I don't get it. There was once this boy in 2nd or 3rd grade who I literally can't remember at all, aside from the fact that he was the school crash out, and he had a mohawk. He only crashed out when the teacher didn't let him have something he wanted. Markers, toys, coloring paper, etc. Kid wore these expensive clothes and such to school, and it would always brag to everyone that it was expensive and had to make it a point in every conversation. Sometimes when someone would doubt him, he'd get mad and argue with them before calming down, and that was the calmer side to him. His way of crashing out was screaming and throwing stuff across the room. Teacher tells him no once, and he's at it again, throwing chairs, boxes, and destroying these playsets we had in the classroom. At some point, he even grabbed his backpack, which he would always brag about for it being $500 or something, and start throwing it at other students because he was mad. It was almost every day that he was mad because the teacher told him no to something so small, and he was definitely not a safe kid to be around. LOL. Damn, dude. Chucking his $500 backpack? Why would he do that, man? Does he not care about it? And I also just feel like any kid with a mohawk is just bound to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like, that's the haircut that you give your child if you want them to be chucking shit across the classroom every single day. Give that man a nice comb over or something, you know? Get rid of that demon inside of him. Nephew consistently likes to blow out my birthday candles. Managed to not let him for the past 2 ones, but he deadass tweaks out over me blowing my own birthday candles.
It's not your birthday, boys. I'm Ariana's birthday.
Why do they do this? Why do kids do this? I've seen so many videos of kids freaking out when they can't blow out somebody else's birthday candles. Is it because they're not the center of attention? Like, I literally don't understand it at all. That's why when his birthday comes around, you gotta blow out all his birthday candles and see how he feels. And make sure to also spit all over the cake while you do it. Last year I was at this party and this 7-year-old girl saw me pull my phone out and wanted it so bad that she bit my hand just to grab it. She didn't know the passcode, so she screamed at me to unlock it. I just snatched it out of her hands and left. Dude, I would be going to the hospital immediately to get checked for rabies. That's pretty awkward though, that she bit you to take your phone and then she couldn't even get into it. Like, is she gonna try that again? Probably not. I once saw someone cry over not getting the same skibbity toilet cake they wanted at their birthday. They got tung 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 sahur cake instead. Really? Are we actually having skibbity toilet and tung 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 sahur themed birthday parties? I mean, what happened to like Cars and, you know, Wall-E and stuff like that? I mean, this is not the same, man. It's just not the same. This probably isn't gonna be in the video. Well, congratulations. But my little brother hates going to school, and almost every single day my dad has to bribe him to even think about going to school. A couple days ago, he had such a meltdown that he broke his bunk bed with my little brother, ripped out multiple of the drawers in his dresser, shoved my dad down the staircase, and tried to choke my little brother with an extension cord. He got the world's worst beatdown, and my dad is not letting him stay here right now. He is with my mom. They are divorced. Holy dude, this kid doesn't even sound stable, man. Like, something has to be going on at school for him to not be wanting to go to school this badly. I mean, trying to choke someone with an extension cord is literally, that's like serial killer shit, you know what I mean? You don't just think about that. Like, that is something that you do when you really want someone to be gone. So, I hope he gets better, man. That's terrifying. I bought 200 pound worth of food and all I ate was the junk food and force-fed my mom 19 burgers, then she got appendicitis. Why are we screaming? And I do think it's really awesome that you are saying this with a queso profile picture. Not really sure how that's a spoiled kid story, but you know, I appreciate the submission, I guess. While I was at Walmart with my mom and my brother, I believe I was 10 or 11 at the time, we were walking through the aisles, and one aisle we went through had a kid with his mom and little baby brother. The kid, maybe 4 to 5 years old, bawling his eyes out and saying that he wanted a certain toy. I obviously can't remember the exact toy he wanted. But we just moved along and tried to to get away from it. While we were passing the toys section, we then ended up passing them, and the kid was still crying, if not worse than before. And since I was 10 at the time, I started to stare at him. He looked back at me and became so angry at me and screamed at the top of his lungs, "Stop looking at me!" And I'd also like to note that the mom during this was happening pretty much did nothing other than a few quiet stops here and there. So after that happened, he started rolling around on the floor crying and making a whole scene, close to the point that the whole store could hear him. The mom then gave him the toy he wanted, and he legit said, "Thank you, Mom." Like nothing happened. I feel like this is a lesson for parents that discipline is extremely important when having a kid so they know what's right and wrong. Yes, exactly, man. We cannot just like be giving these children what they want after they do this. You know, I think this story gets a 10 on the Amelia scale. I mean, this seems like exactly something she would do. I could almost imagine the video, the TikTok of this, her and her mom, you know, and the whole time she's on the floor and her mom screaming, "Amelia! Amelia!" Parents, you gotta be stronger than this, man. All right, this isn't gonna cut it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking a look at these with me. Let me know what kind of stories you guys want me to take a look at next, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both of which are at DomSoEpic. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace, peace.